Good evening, good evening. God bless you. How are you all doing? I think I've got a suntan. Don't know about you guys. I think I've got a suntan. I've been in the sun today, taking in the shade. But anyway, how are you all? Blessings, positive affirmations. Welcome to Standing in My Truth. It's all about you show. And as you know, this show, anything goes. You'll have all forms of people from all around the world that will be joining us every week as we go along. Now, it doesn't mean that because we're out of lockdown that this show will stop. I will continue to do so because I've had quite a bit of fun doing this, to be fair. But the main thing is that we can offer you knowledge. It's all about bringing the voice to the table. How have you all been doing out there? For all the people that are just still coming into the chat room, thank you. I can see the likes coming up on the screen. Thank you. To those in the YouTube, hello. How you doing? Good afternoon, good evening. Even to those on the playback, to those in the Facebook Live, Mixcloud, visually, welcome. Standing in My Truth. Today's show is about CBD, cannabinoid oil. What is that? I'm sure, you know, like myself, I was skeptical. And now, you know, I would think that anyone who smokes marijuana, whether it's for pleasure or socially or medicinally, are skeptics. And that's when I've asked the views about CBD and would you take it? I've had people that's come back and said, no, I'd rather smoke it or I'd rather drink it. And I want to, you know, everyone's got an opinion about CBD. I was one of them. I'm definitely, I'm an ex-smoker. So for me, it was if I can't get the real thing and if I can't smoke the real thing, then why am I taking an oil? What is the oil? What is that all about? Finally, I had, you know, I've seen it on the counters and people talking about it. And I became open-minded. And I'm going to have to put my glasses on because I want to show there's some things that are coming up that I want to see visually on the screen. I was quite, you know, a bit close-minded about CBD. And for me, I thought, well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to investigate. And the only reason I was investigated is because a friend of mine said, I know someone who's got their own CBDs, a founder of QUNUBU. And I said, oh, right, okay. What's QUNUBU? Who's that? Eventually, I reached out, I said hi, and we were introduced to each other. And he sent me his products. And we'll talk about these products a little bit later on. I don't know if anyone can see them. You know, the lights are shining on them. Hopefully I'll be able to discuss a bit more about these products. I don't know if you can see it. I think the light is so bright, but I have pictures of them and I'll come back to these very shortly. For everyone still trying to join us, as I said, today's program is all about cannabis and CBD oil. I'm going to put this up. If anyone could tell me who's ever joined us already, what is it? Now, okay, first things first, what is CBD? CBD, as you can see on the screen, it's short for cannabinoid. It's a chemical compound from the cannabis sativa plant. Now, I don't think anyone realized that there's 3 different types. You've got the indica weed and you've got the sativa, but I'm going to leave my guest who's sitting in the green room finally to actually tell everyone about this, you know, which is all known as marijuana or hemp, according to the, you know, the National Library. It's a naturally occurring substance that's used in products like oils and edibles to impart a feeling of relaxation and calm. Now, for anyone out there who says, oh, you shouldn't smoke marijuana because it's psychotic, and, you know, there's different levels of smoking marijuana, massive levels of smoking marijuana. I am not saying I'm for, I'm not saying I'm pro, I'm not saying I'm against. I am just saying there's different levels, different mindsets of smoking marijuana. And for years, people have been trying to champion the effects of marijuana and what it can do for them, especially people that suffer with MS, multiple sclerosis, anxiety. But I'm going to leave this and actually speak to an expert in this field. His name is Kedda, lovely man. And I was so glad that he agreed to come on the show tonight to tell us all about QUNUBU CBD. And without further ado, are you there, Craig?
Yes, I am. Hello, my darling. You well?
Oh, yes. Now, I don't know about anybody else out there. I know we've got some YouTubers watching, and we've also got, hi, Tash, how you all doing? David Crooks is in the chat room. Give me some volume and sound. Let me know that we can hear you. Can everyone hear?
Can everyone hear me? Am I loud and clear?
You are very, very low still.
Very low still. Okay. What does everyone think online? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you lovely now. Good evening, my lovely. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A little bit nervous, to be honest with you, and anxious. My anxiety levels are through the roof, but we'll be okay.
Oh, don't be nervous. I'll try and make it really comfortable for you. So welcome to Standing in My Truth, All About You show. And I've had a wonderful little bits of tidbits from you. And as I showed earlier, I have some of your products that you sent me. But before we get into all of that, could you give a brief synopsis about yourself, where you're from, who you are, and then we'll go into why CBD, QUNUBU.
Yeah, my name is Kedda, and I'm the founder of QUNUBU CBD. I'm 46. I've lived in the UK since 1995. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, all the way from Africa.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So, born in Zimbabwe, grew up in South Africa, and then came here in 1995 and lived here ever since. I've now been in the UK longer than I was ever in Africa, which is I still miss the weather there.
It's very, very low. Now, I just want anyone out there. Yes, I thought so. Your volume is really, really low.
I don't know. My volume, I'm trying to turn it up. I don't know if that helps. Does that help?
And that's a shame because you've got so much to tell us today. Loads. I'm not sure because I've turned you up fully from my end. We've had the sound check. The only other thing I can suggest is probably taking out the headset. I've got your, let's give me a 1 2 1 2 again.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? 1 2.
Right, okay, you're gone. Try one more.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Right, so we're using the communications. And let's go again.
Hello, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, right. Please let us know again, those in on YouTube and Tash in on the Standing in My Truth page.
Apparently I should take the earphones out.
Yeah, this is what I think. You should take the headphones out.
Now I can't hear you.
Now, let's see how you get on.
You hear me now?
Now, what have you done? You've just turned yourself off. Don't put the headphones back. Well, okay.
So, could you hear me when the headphones were out? Can you hear me?
I definitely can't hear you now.
Hello.
I think you're going to have to put your headphones back on because we can't hear you. Oh, wait a minute. Don't do anything. Let's see what I can do from my end. One moment. Okay, don't put the headphones in.
Right.
Take them out. Now speak to me.
Can you hear me now?
Right, put the headphones back in.
Hello.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh, what did you do?
There
we go. Yay. Oh, my Lord.
I've got 3 screens and I was hoping to utilize them, but never mind.
Yes. And so your 3 screens have now become 1.
Correct.
Good evening, Craig. How
Good
are
evening.
you?
I'm
Please
very well,
introduce
thank
yourself
you.
one more time.
Okay,
Welcome to
no
Standing in My
problem.
Truth. Let's start again.
Yes.
Thank you for the patience, everyone on YouTube and in the chat room.
Thank
Here we
you
go.
so much for your patience.
Please
Sorry about
introduce
that.
yourself. That's okay. Please introduce yourself to the audience. Just give a little synopsis about yourself. Take it away.
Of course, yes. I am. My name's Craig, Craig Kedda, and I'm the founder of QUNUBU CBD. I'm originally from Africa, but living in Kent in the UK, and been here since 1995. A fairly long time now, so I consider myself a local. I basically a couple of years ago, my dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Unfortunately, he didn't have Parkinson's. It turned out he had cancer, and I was making him oil to ease his pain, to help him sleep, and just make life a little bit more bearable.
Okay, well, let's snatch that away. I'm going to snatch that away from you, because you're saying you're making oil. Now, right at the top of the show, I said to everybody, do you know what CBD oil is? Now, I'm going to take it right to the beginning. So here you are, your father. Did you experiment and look into CBD oil before you started experimenting?
As I said, I'm 46 now. I've been experimenting with cannabis since I was 18. A long time. I have years of experience with the plant itself, albeit initially it was recreational. And then after I grew up and realized that it wasn't all about getting high, it was more of a well-being move. And I realized, I mean, obviously, with the education and what we've learned so far about the plant, I realized that there was a lot to it, a lot more to it than just getting high, for instance. I therefore then started looking into it in greater detail. Understood that it could be beneficial for my father, and gave it to him to make his life slightly better. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but.
Sorry to hear that.
No, that's life, unfortunately. But it was to make things better for him, and to just to make well. See, I believe wellness is a personal thing, and you should take responsibility of your health. No one else is going to do it for you, so you need to. Register. I mean, learn about health and what different medicines can do for you. And I quickly realized that synthetic medicines weren't the way forward. So I would rather go down the natural path, and that led me to CBD.
Okay, so here you are. See, you said you want to go down the natural path. Now, I do have a couple of people in the chat room who I've spoken to prior to this program, and they too. And I'm hoping that Trinity is out there somewhere, and she will offer some, things that we spoke about. When you say that, people saying, I use the word scientific. But there's no, we can't use scientific when it comes to cannabis. So I'm going to throw some things at you, and I'd like you to help the audience understand. You're saying there's CBD oil, there's hemp oil, and there's CBD oil. What's the difference?
Well, hemp oil is generally made from pressing the seeds of the hemp plant. The seeds are cold pressed. Now, the seeds have little to absolutely zero CBD content, where CBD is extracted from the whole plant and the flower of the hemp or marijuana plant. Yeah, and those are the two differences, basically.
Explain to the audience also, what is the THC? Because I didn't know.
Of course, no.
I'm an ex-smoker. And so what is the potency of the THC? Because I've already got the side effects here, but I would like you to tell me what is the THC in the CBD and the extraction and why.
No problem. I'll do my very best.
Awesome.
THC is just one of about 140 different compounds that we've now discovered exist in the cannabis plant. There's THC, there's CBD, CBG, CBDA.
Wow.
As I said, there's about 140 that they've identified at the moment, and they're learning so much on a daily basis. The thing is, no one's an expert in this particular field because there is so much to learn. THC has been vilified, in my opinion, for too long. I'm not against THC. In my opinion, THC has its place. It's been abused, let's face it, and the weed that you can buy on the streets has been produced and grown for its THC content, and they've actually grown it so that so it's got the highest THC content, but it's a medicine, as the guys in the chat are kindly pointing out. It's definitely a medicine, and we've been using it for thousands and thousands of years. In fact, I actually came up with the name QUNUBU because it's the very first word that we actually we used for the plant cannabis. It's been
really
yeah.
Educate me.
And basically, thousands of years ago, we used to call cannabis QUNUBU.
Oh,
so that's how I came up with the idea of QUNUBU, basically.
Because I've not heard anyone use it. Now, call me, someone who's a smoker. Imagine I'm smoking something and don't even know what the actual product. And that, as I said, I'm an ex-smoker of years, and I found that marijuana, smoking it was good. It was a relaxation, but there's certain things that it wouldn't allow me to do in my job, if that makes sense. It slowed me down. Everyone is different. Everybody's different smoking marijuana. And as you know, you can become quite psychotic with it.
Well, I tend to disagree with you. I think you might, I don't believe cannabis makes you psychotic. I believe you are psychotic, but cannabis. I hope I'm not going to offend anyone today.
Please, this is all about you, so it's open-minded conversation. Let's have it.
Of course, I honestly believe that it's been abused, yes, but it doesn't actually make someone. For instance, a stoner isn't lazy because he's a stoner. He's lazy because he's lazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course.
A lot of people wouldn't agree with that because...
Well, Michael Phelps, who is the leading... he's won more gold medals in the Olympics than anyone else. And he's a big stoner.
Yeah. I've got you. People probably would not agree with you that probably lazy. And I can guess that some people will say that's wrong. But, there I've been people who have been smoking the strong weed and it hasn't agreed with them. So each to his own. Let's, it's someone says, Natasha says she agrees with you. They're just lazy. And I get that. There's people that smoke it and find that they cannot even, if they don't be with people who smoke it, it can become an unsociable drug.
100%. And this is one of the reasons why I honestly believe it needs to be legalized like yesterday, because people will smoke it regardless of whether or not it's illegal. And if I can go into a shop or a dispensary and choose a strand with a high CBD content, I'm going to choose that brand all day long. I'm not too keen on sitting on the couch in a mess and drooling and not able to converse with anyone. That doesn't appeal to me. Right. And I'm telling you now, the listeners will probably agree with me. 95% of the people out there probably feel the same way.
Yeah, that's what someone just said. Ches just said, no need for that strong stuff at all.
There isn't.
Okay. So you've explained that you've got the hemp, which is the pressing of the oil. What is the difference between the marijuana oil making the CBD?
Well, the CBD is extracted from the hemp plant or the marijuana plant. And we use the company that I use to produce my oil uses a CO2 extraction, which is one of the cleanest means of extracting the CBD from the plant. There's various ways that you can extract it. I mean, some people use solvents, but I'm not keen on that because you get alcohol and crap in it that isn't that I just, it's not the way forward in my opinion. But it's extracted from the hemp flower predominantly. Opposed to the hemp seed oil that you can buy at Tesco's that you use for cooking in, which is rich in omega oils and fats, which is very healthy for you.
But it's not it doesn't give you the same content
it
in terms of the CBD oil, does it?
It
now,
doesn't, no.
What are the benefits then? So here you are then. You've got the CBD oil, which you've now extracted via your CO2. Now, when I hear CO2, I'm thinking of water, air. Is that what you mean by the CO2?
Correct, yes. It's a clean process. Now, we're talking a lot about CBD here. But I think what we need to maybe discuss is the endocannabinoid system.
Please do.
Now, this is a system that we all have. Like the nervous system, the reproductive system, the skeletal system, the digestive system. It's a system in our bodies that we've all had it for millennia. Our ancestors knew, well, they perhaps didn't understand the science behind it, but they knew that there was something there. Hence, they used to use, I mean, cannabis has been used for millennia, as we've already said. But the endocannabinoid system was only discovered in 1980.
Oh, right.
It's a very important system. It is the system that controls every other system in our body. Now, CBD helps our endocannabinoid system to reach, well, it balances the system out.
And where is the endocannabinoid system? Where's that?
Everywhere.
That's everywhere in our body?
They've found it in our bones, they've found it in our brain, in our eyes, in our lungs, in our skin. For instance, this is the reason why my balm is so good, because we have loads of CBD receptors just underneath the skin.
Interesting.
It's everywhere. It's in our reproductive system.
Oh, wow.
If the CBD, if the endocannabinoid system is imbalanced, it basically causes your body, it causes inflammation, it causes other issues in your body. So the problem is, I mean, another thing is that most of us, there is a theory that most of us are CBD deficient. Now,
okay.
one of the reasons for us being CBD deficient is because in the 1920s, in fact, in 1929, we stopped feeding our livestock hemp, and we changed from hemp to corn. Now, there were various reasons for that, and certain bankers were in charge of that process. But when they changed the feed to corn, which is sugar rich,
okay,
cancer went through the roof.
Right.
And we weren't getting the CBD that we were getting from our food anymore. So our endocannabinoid system was imbalanced or out of balance. And that's where we get inflammation and stress and sickness. And yeah, and this is one of the reasons why chronic illness is such an issue.
Now, the government knows this. They know the science of what you've just explained to us. The government knows all of this. Why do you think that they don't want, they've changed how this is grown? They know that people are using CBD, because CBD oil, as you said, is only come into prominence in the last, the last probably 10, 20 years. And even so, they must have known. They've got their own science people growing this. They're able to put it on the market to a certain amount of people to use it.
Well, did you know that last year we grew 95 tons of it in a little farm? Well, I say little. There's a farm in Sittingbourne the size of 35 football fields. 35 football fields.
Oh, wow.
And we grew 95 tons of it legally in the UK. although they'll bust you for a bank bag full, or whatnot. But the hypocrisy is mind blowing. The company,
And that's crazy.
yeah, it is mind blowing.
What are the, so we know that it's there, we know it. I'm not going to go too much in. Someone else just mentioned that it's of money, it's control. They want to control the system, even though having this form of I would say natural product that would help cancer patients, it would help neurologically, it will help people with multiple sclerosis. They've kept that all together to themselves and is plowing people with pharmaceutical drugs rather than the natural product itself. What are the great effects of CBD oil is what I want to come to.
Well, as I said, the science behind it, we're still learning on a daily basis. I mean, you mentioned you mentioned MS, you've mentioned anxiety. These conditions are still being studied as we speak. The pharmaceutical industry and the governments. I mean, for instance, it's been a Schedule I drug for so long, people haven't been allowed to study it. It's only very recently in the States and in Israel. In fact, Israel seems to be a very sort of most of the knowledge that we know now actually came from doctors studying in Israel. But it's been a Schedule I drug for so long that we haven't actually taken it and learned anything about what I'm trying to say is that it's still we're still learning at the moment. Do you know where I'm coming from? Sorry.
No, and I'm glad you're saying that, because I actually read via the NHS and the government themselves, because, before you can go on a show, you have to research everything. So I'm able to understand, and for me to ask you the questions, to allow the audience to gain that knowledge. And they're actually saying that there are people out there making CBD oil, and so you don't know who has got the right product. So you can go into the Tesco's, like I saw it on the shelf for £20 yesterday, or you can go to all these, go online and buy it. How safe do we know we are buying CBD oil? Tell me.
This is a big problem, and I'm all for regulation. The CBD industry's literally recently been regulated by the FSA. Now, it's now a novel food, so you literally cannot supply CBD or sell CBD unless your product is novel foods approved or pending novel foods approval. Basically, the company I get my CBD from is based in Holland, and they have novel foods approval, or they're in the process of getting the application processed. And I'm fortunately covered and regulated by the FSA, but unfortunately, a lot of people aren't. And there is a certain amount of people who are making it at home. And unfortunately, you just don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, someone just said some of the chemists are selling it at £40, and she is the lady that's making putting these suggestions in the comment room is disabled. Now, I hate calling her disabled, but she's had a spinal injury, and it's for years, and there's days that she can't walk. And today, if she allows me to,
is that Waverley?
That's correct. Her name is Trinity. Yeah. Now, if she allows me to, she did pop me some information, and this is what she said. She sent me a link. She said, and I'm going to read it out, but I hope people can understand this. It helps caudal equine syndrome. Does that make sense to you?
It's a long word.
She says, I'm a new neurological test bunny for the Sativex prescription, and they use CBD. Right. She's managed to quit all painkillers, including the bad morphine, and managed to reduce her neurological medication by 70%. And that's by using the CBD oil.
Yeah.
She truly believes in the plant's properties, whether it be hemp or cannabis. She's been, because it's been used for thousands of years by so many cultures as a medication. Now she finds it utterly, she says, excuse me, utterly crazy how people need to take CBD or such other drugs like the druggies. Yet when I, legally accused by the health board of aiding to turn her health into a junkie, knowing full well that they wanted to ply her with different drugs than the CBD, which was actually helping her.
Which is a natural product. And please, Trinity, send me a message, send me your address, and I will send you a bottle of CBD, no problem, free of charge for you to try. It's a shame that the pharmaceutical industry push so many synthetic drugs onto us, because we're all, we're just a customer.
Yes.
And it's a shame because, you take one drug and then you've got to take another 2 drugs to counteract the side effects of that drug. It's just crazy.
And I totally agree. She said she was diagnosed with PTSD and spent 3 years once a week with a psychologist, and who was trying to teach her how to cope. But she found that once she discovered the CBD oil, it lowered, her anxiety.
Yeah.
And which brings me to the question to you.
Yes.
Thanks for that information. She just said in the room, I was a junkie. I hated myself and lost my brain. But she says, now I'm back.
Trinity, I need to confess, standing by my truth. I grew up I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and raved in the 90s. So I was around when there was some really good stuff going about. And I too sort of went down the wrong path. And CBD and cannabis helped me come away from that particular path as well. So I can fully relate with where you're coming from, sweetheart.
You and I had a great conversation when we first got into the CBD, trying to discover what it does. And I am going to come back to it for the other people who are still watching on the YouTube, also on my page, who are asking the question, which is, what are the benefits of the CBD? And you just said you clean it with the CO2. Yes. And what are the other things that people do clean it with? I'm sorry, everyone. I want everyone to get as much information before they go out and buy the CBD. So what are the other things?
There are a number of extraction methods. Solvents is one which isn't the greatest, because they use an alcohol-based solvent to extract the CBD. The best way is the CO2, for instance. It's a clean process, and you're taking the CBD out of the product, out of the hemp product. It's a lot cleaner, a lot safer. I use, my carrier oil is MCT oil, so it's a pure coconut oil. It's the best oil to use for sublingual, which is the way you take your oil just underneath the tongue, hold it there for a few seconds, and then that goes through into your bloodstream quite quickly. It's just clean. It's a clean process.
What are the benefits? So we've already covered it. Covers anxiety and PTSD. You tested it on yourself, not just for your dearly departed father, but you tested it on yourself. Why did you start using the CBD oil?
I've for a long time now, I've suffered with anxiety. At the moment, my anxiety levels are through the roof. I take CBD for that. I also, I've always been a very active person. I've either cycled, I've played football. I've always been very active, and I do CrossFit at the moment. So I'm every day, like, for instance, tomorrow morning, I'll be back in the CrossFit box, exercising, and it helps with inflammation. It helps me recover quicker.
That's what I've noticed. I've now noticed that people are taking CBD oil. Bear with me a second. My light just decided to dim. People are taking CBD oil for training purposes to help their recovery.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of athletes
How
are now taking.
so? Why? What are the benefits for that?
Well, it helps your muscles recover quicker. It helps your sleep, for instance. And when we sleep deeper and better, we repair ourselves. Our bodies are amazing. They're amazing machines. And if we can just give that machine a little helping hand to maybe perhaps sleep a bit better in the evening, and bring it back into balance, you just recover a lot easier and a lot better. And I can, honestly, I'm 46 soon. In fact, on the 25th, I'm 46, and
Oh,
I've never been fitter. To be honest with you, I love it, and yeah, and the
someone has just asked the question.
yeah.
Let's see. Good evening, Marcia. Lovely to see you, my darling.
Oh, Marcia.
Can you, I don't know if you could read her message. It says, "Good evening. My dad, who is 90 plus, is constantly in pain.
Yeah.
Do you think that this oil can help to alleviate his pain?" She says she also suffers from was it chondritis? And I do know that. Do you think this oil can help me? Thank you. What advice would you give to Marcia Gordon?
I would, Marcia, your dad's 90 years old. I would say give it to him, give it a try. He's got nothing to lose, and it could only help, to be perfectly honest with you. I must admit, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not too sure what I can't even spell it.
Yeah, yeah. I think the chondritis is
That's it.
It's an inflammation of the breastplate, your lungs.
Wow.
And it can cause and I mean, jump in there, Marcia, if you want to explain a bit more. It actually sits and affects your lungs and your breathing. It becomes icky, it becomes sticky, and it's a form of asthma, but so it's in that field. But I totally agree with you that yes, Marcia, you can give it to your dad. She says, "Oh, happy birthday on the 25th, same day as her brother." Oh my God, yes, her brother passed away. Yeah, the same, who passed away recently.
Marcia, I as I said, I'm not a doctor, and none of my products legally, I'm not allowed to suggest that they can fix or cure anything, but I would give it a shot. You've got nothing to lose.
Let me show the audience some of your products, because we've been talking about the benefits and what it can do for you. So I'm going to take it back to myself. So as I said, I've already got, I think my light is too bright for anyone to actually see. I have the balm. So here's the balm.
That's the balm, yes. Imported from America. Lovely stuff. Yep.
Right. And it's when I first got it. So I'm going to tell you about my experience. So you've come and I've been told about QUNUBU, and I'm like, no, not in it. My body's clean. My body's a temple. I don't do all of that malarkey. And it smells like tiger balm.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It reminded me back in the 90s. I tell you what, I'm like,
it reminds me of Thailand. It's just beautiful. Now, I'm going to put it on the screen so people can see what I'm actually talking about. So what he sent me was, as you can see, there's the QUNUBU balm, which I'm showing on the other side. And I've got the oil, and I'm going to talk about each one of them as we go along. And, excuse me, and there's some gummy bears.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, the gummies are fun. The gummies are there if for instance you don't like the taste of the oil, which I'm quite keen on, but each to their own. But the thing is, with the gummies, because they've got to go through your digestive system, it takes a little bit longer for the CBD to work. So, but yeah, great stuff.
Yes. So when I got the products, I thought, oh, get out of here. Who can I give this to? I'm going to throw it out the window. Not interested. I feel fine. I don't see why. I mean, I do get aches and pains. Everybody does. I'm training. I'm hurt. I suffer with anxiety. And I just won't take any pharmaceutical drugs to deal with my anxiety. I try to meditate it out, even though I do spaz out at times. And that's just my own doing. Excuse me. And And I just don't put, as much as I used to smoke back in the day, I'm a hypocrite. And as much as I, used to drink, I'm a hypocrite because I don't want to put anything in my body. But you sent me these gummies.
Yeah.
Here they are, folks. Don't know if everyone can see that.
Those are my little vegan gummies.
Yeah. These are vegan gummies, everybody. So for anyone who's worried about, it's got gelatin and blah, 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 it is actually vegan. So it's all natural.
And there's 25 milligrams of CBD per gummy, basically. So they recommend you take 1 to 3 gummies a day, depending on how you feel.
So I remember going on your website, which is the QUNUBU site, and there was a woman in there who had purchased this. And her question to you was, how many of these can I eat a day? What would it do to me? So I'm not going to answer it. Tell them what your answer was.
You probably have a really good night's sleep, and that's about it, to be honest.
So she said she was eating quite a lot.
Yeah.
My experience then, folks, here's what happened. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to try it. And I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. And what happened was, I put it on the nightstand on my dresser beside my table, and I kept it there just to look at it and think, what am I going to do with this? And one of my mum, who I try not to explain too much that my mum is in between palliative care, but anyway, she's bedridden. She's bedridden and had been like that for years. And the doctors they've diagnosed with amyloids, and she got the cancer, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, wonder if this would help my mother. Now, I didn't give it to her, and I said to my brother's going, whoa, wow, CBD. And I said, but I'm a bit skeptical. I don't know if this product works. So one day I've gone to my bed, completely forgot. I've got no sweets. I love my drumsticks. Didn't realize that this had the CBD in it. Opened it up. I thought, that smell, but it smelled of sweets. And I started eating them. I've had one, I've eaten 2. And I actually started to beat myself up because I thought, no, I've eaten sweets. And then I realized, this ain't sweet. This is weed. Damn.
Well, it is weed, correct? But there's I mean, it's a full spectrum. It's a full spectrum product. I believe that we need the full spectrum of the plant. So we need all the bits and pieces. We don't just need the CBD, for instance. We need a little bit of THC as well. And there's a 0.02% in there, which is below the legal limit.
I tell you something, for anybody that's out there, I swear to God, I'm not trying to endorse your product. As I said, I'm a massive skeptic. And if you speak to any of my friends around me who knows me very well, you can do what you want. I'm not following you. And I'm not going to endorse something that I've never tried. Yeah. And I'm still a skeptic, but this made me, it stopped my my heart flutters, which is caused by anxiety.
Yeah.
I know someone just said, you not eating sweets.
They know you well.
You know me too well. But I didn't mean to eat them. Yeah. But I found that each night I ate 3 of these before I went to sleep, and my head stopped racing. I found that I was able to actually have a sleep that was not, I was in a deep sleep rather than a TV sleep, or, I'm in survival mode.
Correct. You see, now that's what the CBD is doing. The CBD is now interacting with your endocannabinoid system, which is therefore bringing everything into homeostasis. It's balancing your whole system, which is allowing you to relax. It's allowing you to calm your mind, and it's also allowing you to sleep better.
It did. Again, when I woke up, I thought, oh my God, it brought back memories of how I used to smoke and the effects of the next day drowsy. But I didn't have that. No. What I did taste, and which I still didn't understand, I still had that taste of marijuana. And I wasn't sure. I was like, oh no. But then the next night I thought, let me try it again. Will I have the same effect? Was it that I was just going for my sweets, but it did the same thing. So this is called the Orbit Rings, and you get 30 times 25 milligrams
of CBD each ring.
CBD,
correct.
and there's a 75, and this is a 750 milligram pot.
Correct.
And as I said, I'm not here to endorse it, but this is one of QUNUBU's products that if you're anxious, this is what I would suggest someone taking if they have anxiety. That's my take on this. I can't speak for anybody else. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I fully agree with you.
Yes. So this is the Fizzy Orbit Rings, which is a lot more easy to digest, and it's a slow release into the system. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah, because it takes a little bit longer for it to go into your system because it's got to go through your digestive system. Unlike the oil that you put underneath the tongue, which goes straight into your basically your bloodstream, and it takes effect within 5 minutes. This will take slightly longer. But yeah, same thing.
Someone just said, so you basically ate the lot, Val.
Excellent.
I did my best, folks. I just want to let you know that even though I have a terrible, as you can see, I'm getting big and jowly from eating sweets because I'm trying to cope where I can't drink or go anywhere or do anything else. I'm using food as a release of stress, and that this is the honest to God truth. I know we're laughing about this, but I'm trying to allow you to educate them, and these are your products.
I'm trying.
And someone said absorbing it is better than smoking. And this is what I found. It stopped my palpitations, my anxiety, and also there's not a lot of sugar in it per se that will affect my dietary requirements. So yes, people, I didn't eat the whole lot. I would say there's still 10 more left in there. Yes, Mummy T, I'm greedy.
Excellent.
The next product that I have from you. So guys, I will give you all the details of this a bit later. Mummy T in the chat room said that I'm going to go back to hers because she is quoted here. She said, I have recently given up after many, many years of self-medicating. She says, oh my Lord, the pains I am feeling in my joints, which I'd never felt before. I'm seriously thinking of remedicating. What would you say to Carol Thompson there?
Carol,
I call her Mummy T. She's blessed. She's a queen.
Hiya, Carol. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I fully understand. You've just recently given up, I assume, smoking and taking the full spectrum THC plant and whatnot. I would recommend try CBD. You won't. I mean, give it a go. If it doesn't work for you, then you stop at the end of the day. But you probably are feeling those aches and pains is because your body is in inflammation. You're inflamed. And CBD will help, but then so will other things help. I mean, for instance, if you're a smoker, quit smoking. If you drink a lot of alcohol, drink less alcohol. Eat proper food. All right, eat real food. The problem with a lot of these conditions that we suffer from today is because we don't eat the right stuff.
So that's why we are always self-medicating.
Correct.
That's exactly why we are self-medicating.
Oh, hang on. Someone said CBD is addictive. No.
Natasha's asked, is CBD addictive? What's the answer?
It's not. 100% not.
And I'm inclined to, Tash, I'm inclined to agree with him there. The reason being is when I first ate 3 of those gummies, I thought I would be addicted. And I started to, again, my mind started playing tricks on me. And then I had to learn to let go and say, look, if I want to be able to face the world with all the anxieties that are going on and actually face whatever trauma that's been triggered and brought to the surface, I need to learn to relax and meditate. But I found that I was able to meditate a little bit longer. Again, and me trying to endorse this, sorry, the Orbit rings. But we'll come back to this. Your other product, which you have, is this wonderful organic intensive bee balm. Can you tell me a bit more about it, please?
One of my favorite products, to be perfectly honest with you. That and the oil. This is imported from America, from Michigan. A friend of mine makes it. It's all organic. The ingredients are olive oil, organic coconut oil, unfiltered beeswax. Now the beeswax comes from organic bees that are free range bees in Michigan, basically. And there's eucalyptus oil, clove oil, hence the smell of tiger balm.
Right.
There's 500 milligrams of CBD in that jar, which is
how much?
500 milligrams of CBD.
Wow,
it's quite a high content of CBD. And the beauty of that is that you just put it on your skin, and it works a treat. I mean, for instance, my 10-year-old son suffers from eczema, and every year around about sort of wintertime when the heating comes on and whatnot, we would have to use the steroid cream, which, let's face it, isn't good for you at all. I used that. Within 2 days, his eczema had gone.
What, with this balm?
With that balm, yeah.
Okay, so you asked me to try it.
Yes.
Again, it was something that I wanted to see if I could use for my mum, because she's literally lost the feeling in her legs, and so her condition, amyloidosis, has an effect similar to MS, not neurologically, but more jointly, and you lose all sensation. And I thought, let me try it before I let my mum try this. I have days where I sit for long periods of time and don't move, ever since I've started this whole podcast and YouTube channel. So I spend most of my days researching, having conversations abroad with various people.
Of course.
And there's another question. We'll come to that. Jack has just joined us in the room, and what you can use it for. I could not walk. Both my feet were swollen to the size of, I've never had that issue before. And all of a sudden I'm suffering because it was called circulation. Folks, I put this, it's very thick, it's gooey. I rubbed it on my leg, and then I elevated my legs. And the next morning I woke up, the swelling in both my legs have gone down, and my circulation didn't itch anymore. Why is that?
Well,
because this smells like tiger balm.
Well, it's not only tiger balm, but I mean, you've got the eucalyptus oil and the clove oil, which is what smells like the tiger balm. But it's got unfiltered beeswax in it, and now this particular beeswax has approximately 280 odd different compounds in it, and each of those compounds interact with our bodies in unique ways. And it's not only is it the CBD content in this particular balm, it's the raw unfiltered beeswax that we use. And I mean, plants heal at the end of the day. It's a fact. I mean, we all love Manuka honey for its healing purpose.
Yeah, I put it on my face.
Do you? I mean, it cures MRSA. It's that powerful, Manuka honey. But this is similar to that. It's a similar product in the sense that it's an organic bee. It's made from nature.
Folks, to everyone that's been asking about this balm, someone said, what else is the balm good for? Can you use it in their hair?
I've never used it in my, well, I don't have any.
Because it's got the beeswax, which a lot of us use the honey sometimes to make products in our hair. Beeswax is what a lot of people use to make the wax, the gel wax is where we put it in our hair. Which is correct. Now, clove of oil is something that we use in our teeth. And I think you can use clove in your hair. I'm only just using a synopsis here, Jack. And the eucalyptus is also something that you use as a healing for the scalp treatment.
The thing is, there's nothing in there that's synthetic. It's all organic. So I don't see any reason why you couldn't use it with in your hair. But what would the reason be? What's the condition? What are you trying to help? What are you trying to cure?
Jackie, did you hear that? She says she has locks, and her locks are quite lovely. So would it be more to just put it on her scalp as opposed to using it on the actual hair?
I would be putting it on my scalp, to be perfectly honest with you, because that's where the CBD receptors are just under the skin. That in my opinion would be the way forward, but no harm in trying.
I hope that helped, Jackie. What are the other aspects of this balm that people could use it for?
Well, it's, again, I need to the disclaimer, none of my products
Yeah. No. You know why you've made it and what its usage.
Well,
could you let us know?
My friend who came up with the product and formulated this particular product, made it for her brother who was suffering with skin cancer. So that is another helping sort of aspect.
So it's similar to eczema and psoriasis.
Any psoriasis, eczema, any
skin
correct? Any skin condition, yeah.
Sure,
I'm endorsing. If you suffer from any dry skin, I mean, for instance, my lips, every now and again, I get really dry, chapped lips. I just put a little bit on my lips and job done.
Is there any? I know that you'll probably say that they're not in in the gummies. You get 30 gummies in the gummies, Marcia. I'll come back to that. I'll answer that in a mo. So this balm, you're telling folks that they could use it in their hair, but mainly in their scalp. It is good to use for tired muscles.
Very much so, yeah.
For anyone with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, muscle joint pain.
Yeah, my mum's 70, and she has issues with her hips, so she just rubs a bit of this on her hips before she goes to bed, and she can sleep at night. As I said before, I'm a CrossFit athlete, and a number of my friends use it for muscle aches and pains. For instance, if they've been training too hard, they utilize it to help ease the pain. It does ease the pain,
and it does. I am testament. I'm not, again, please, anyone watching this show today, I am not here to endorse his product,
and I haven't paid her anything.
There's no payment, there's no support, there's nothing. I'm a skeptic, and I'm always going to be a skeptic all my life, because that's just who I am. But I can actually tell you, with the CBD, someone else has just said CBD oil is the truth. Thank you for sharing that, MD Media. Applauds. I am going to applaud that, because when I put this on my legs, when I've put it on the back of my thighs, I feel nothing. And I don't feel high. There's no form of tiredness that goes with it. But what it does, it relaxes my mind, and I can smell it, and
I love the smell.
Touch it. Yeah, the smell alone is a relaxant. I've put some in hot water.
All right. How did that go?
Fine, because I'm asthmatic, and I put a dollop of it in the water, and I inhaled,
amazing.
Inhaled the fumes. So people are now asking, where can they purchase? We haven't come to the end of the show yet. No. We haven't even got to the oil. So I'll give you all that information, everyone that's asking. Trinity says she needs that. Jack, I'll let you know. Marcia also. So you have gummies that you don't need to put any oil. You could eat. They're like sweet, so you don't have to fight with the taste.
Yeah.
And finally is the CBD oil. Can you explain to everyone what this oil does?
Yeah, well, it's 10 milligrams of 10 milliliters of 1,000 milligrams of CBD oil. As I said earlier on, it's extracted via CO2 extraction, so it's a clean oil, and it's mixed with MCT oil, which is an organic coconut oil. I do need to stress that if anyone's allergic to coconuts, then you might want to give the oil a bit of a wide berth. But apart from that, you're fine to go.
Could you say that to anyone again? He's saying that his product has coconut oil, MCT oil. A lot of people that are on keto takes MCT oil. So if you're worried what MCT oil is, I just want to add that in.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody that is on keto lives on MCT oil.
Yeah, it's a very good oil. Yeah,
it's beautiful oil. I take it. I take it like a little bit when I was on keto. That is. Yes, I'm sorry, folks. I went on the keto diet. This oil, what is its purpose?
Well, as I said to you, its purpose is to help regulate the endocannabinoid system.
For those who've just joined us, can you one more time, endocannabinoid system, tell them what it is?
Well, to try and use an analogy, it's like, for instance, if you've got a noisy neighbor and they're playing the music loud and they're annoying you, and you get up, you go out and you knock on their door and you ask them to quietly turn the music down. Our endocannabinoid system is exactly that. It is the messenger system that basically sends messages from our brain to our stomach to our lungs. It's everywhere. It's under our skin. It's in our bones. It's in our eyes. It's in our reproductive system. It's everywhere. It is the. It's almost like for instance, it's like the central heating system in your home. It keeps everything in symbiosis.
Ah, yes, I understand what you mean. I understand. How many drops of this a day would you recommend? Even though the instructions are on the bottle. This is quite expensive, folks, by the way.
Well, you say it's quite expensive. It's 25 quid. Now, one of the other reasons.
I mean, expensive. I was going to say expensive, but worth the money for it because of the quality of the oil.
For sure, it's amazing. I started. One of the reasons why I started this particular journey is because I was sort of shocked at how many people were actually getting ripped off. To be perfectly honest with you, that is a quality oil, and I retail it for 25 quid a bottle. And there are similar oils to that are twice as much, and you don't need to be paying that money.
Yeah, I've seen this in the shops, not your particular brand. As I said, I was doing my homework for this program today just to see where I'm at. Reading the again, so folks, as I keep telling, I'm a skeptic, so I'm going to read everything. I think that knowledge is good to be well informed, and they were selling where yours is £25. They were selling theirs at £48.99.
Exactly.
And I thought, are you having a laugh, Tesco?
Yeah.
Are you having a laugh, Sainsbury's?
Someone's taking the mick.
They really are making sure that they get the best out of this. Now, Sonia said, Sonia, I'm so sorry that you've had this issue and you end up at the hospital today. I'm sending you healing, positive vibes, my darling. And she says, oh my God, I've had issues for 4 days with pain in my knees. And she's been using the Tiger Balm, and to the point she ended up at the hospital today.
Yeah.
And all they've given her is painkillers.
Yeah.
And she thinks that she sounds like this or the balm.
A combination of both might help, but the balm definitely, because it gets straight to the source of the issue. I would have a go with the balm, 100%.
How much is the balm being sold for?
I'm currently retailing the balm for 45 quid a tub, and it's 120 milliliters of balm.
Now, I know I shouldn't say this. I know it's 45 quid. We're in COVID, blah, blah, blah. But for the people that are in this chat room only today, I'm not worried about anybody else, but we've had 4 people already. See, someone has said it's quite cheap. Every nerve system in the body, miles of them, Chaz is saying, because she's an expert. She's done this. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to, you carry on.
I was going to say, what would be, I'm not saying everyone wants to buy, they don't really care, to be fair. But if there was a deal for today for everyone to buy this balm, what would the deal be? And I'm putting you on the spot there, aren't I? Sorry.
You are just slightly.
Sorry.
If anyone was interested in the balm and they're
Only in this product here in this show,
in this
not
chat room, in
outside.
this show, then do me a favor, message me directly, and I will look after you.
Did you hear that, everyone? Anybody that wants this balm, it is retailing at £45. Only the people in the show, not only on the live. So if you've joined us on the replay, it doesn't apply to you.
Yeah,
and those will know that if please can I'm actually going to put a time frame on this for you. If you can email tonight before 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, this show ends at 9. Okay, just before 9.
The email address
a
is
window of an hour and a half. She said, can you send me the email? Can you do me a favor? I don't know if I can put it on the screen. Actually, I think I can.
Could I put it in chat?
Yeah. Could you put it in the chat room?
Yeah.
So he's going to put in the chat room, folks.
Hang on a second. Where do I put it in?
Okay, so can you not see it there? No. All right. Look,
No,
I'm gonna. Can you see it?
No, I'm struggling. Never
Okay.
mind.
I'm going to type it in for everyone that's wanting this particular balm.
Perfect.
Okay, what is it? What is it? What is your email?
It's easy. It's doc
Yeah.
at QUNUBUCBD.co.uk.
Now, tell me if I've done that. So doc at QUNUBUCBD.co.uk.
Perfect.
Okay. I've just put in the chat room, everybody. Oh, someone. Oh, Justine. Hello, Justine.
Thank you, Justine.
Oh, thank you, Justine. Okay. Here's the deal, folks. You have 2 hours for everyone that's on this live. Starting from 9 o'clock, you've got 2 hours. Starting from 9:30. What we now? We are
20 to 9.
It's 20 to 9. You've got till 10:30. After 10:30, this email goes down and the promotional deal is off. So everyone who's in the chat room, and I'm hoping that even if someone watches it back, you have until 10:30 to get the promotional deal. After 10:30, it will be the normal retail price
of £45.
Of £45. Is that okay with you?
Of course it is. Yeah, definitely. You know, I've started this little business, but I also want to give back to people and to as I said earlier on, I'm from Africa, and our brand, whenever you buy a bottle of CBD or some balm or some gummies, we give back to a nature reserve or a rhino conservation group in Zimbabwe, and they look after our big grey unicorns of the wild. And
I love it. I love that. You do know today is World Earth Day.
I know, so yeah. What a coincidence!
That this has worked out poignantly for CBD. So for everyone who has joined us, because there's some people that's just still, jumped in. Good evening, Desiree. The promotional price is not going to be mentioned in this room. That price, if you email Craig, he will tell you what the price will be. That's his promotion for being on the show today. I don't want to put him on the spot like that. The promotional price. This is not bloody what's that program? QVC. Did you know what I mean? But everyone, the promotional price, Sonia, you don't worry, you haven't missed it. I've left it on the screen for everyone to see. I'm not going to take it off. It's doc at QUNUBUCBD.co.uk.
Yeah, correct.
The website is QUNUBU, same thing, QUNUBUCBD.co.uk also.
Yeah, it's a smashing website. Yeah,
it's a beautiful website.
Great website.
Remember, folks, you've got 2 hours to email. After 10:30, the promotion is back to £45 for the balm. The gummies, the same. It's £25 at the moment. If you email him, tell him what your ails and your worries and your woes are.
Let me know what you're trying to get out of the CBD, and I'll recommend what I believe would be best suited.
Repeat that for them, please.
If you let me know what you are wanting to get out of the CBD, I'll recommend what's best suited for you. I want to send Trinity a bottle, if that's okay. If Trinity can give me her address at some point, I'll send her a bottle.
So Trinity, if you can email, please email doc@QUNUBUCBD.co.uk. He will send you the oil or the product that he discussed with you earlier.
Free of charge.
You can try it, etc. as well. Okay, so folks, this is QUNUBU. You've got it already. I've given you all the information. I hope it was beneficial. So here we are. We've explained to everybody else. Oh, someone's asked, can the teenagers have the gummies?
No one can purchase CBD unless they're over the age of 18.
Okay, so 18 years old, you're suggesting that anyone that purchases the gummies do not give them to anyone under the age of 18. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that, no.
Oh, I'm asking. I'm sorry.
It's in my opinion, and this is my opinion, although you have to be 18 to purchase CBD products, if the carer in charge of the person that you believe would benefit from the product decides that it's worth trying, then I don't believe there's an issue, regardless of the age.
Oh, brilliant. She says mine is 21 and 17. So she's in good. Yeah, that's fine. So she can buy the gummies for her children as long as she knows that let them know how to administer it to to her kids.
You also need to bear in mind that CBD does interact with certain medications. So if you are on medication, blood thinners for argument's sake, then I would suggest you talk to your GP before you decide to choose the CBD route.
This is the question I was going to ask you. What are the side effects, and which you've just beautifully explained, that if you're on certain medication is to make sure you take physician advice.
Please do, yes. Take guidance and advice from your
guidance. Also, I would say you could go to your pharmacist, because nowadays pharmacists have been given a lot of what's the word? Permissions to now give over.
Pharmacists are getting there. They're learning just like everyone else, but they are definitely not experts either. And again, unfortunately, the GP, 9 times out of 10, the GP doesn't know much about CBD either. And it's a shame, because we haven't. It's not been taught in the medical schools, which is ridiculous. We have an endocannabinoid system that controls everything, and they don't teach it.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It blows my mind.
I've learned so much from you today, and even though I've tried the products, at no point did I even think that what are my receptors, the cannabinoid, all of that I didn't know that. And I'm hoping that that information that you've imparted today in the chat room to people that have joined us on the show, I would say for anyone that's in the chat room on Standing in My Truth or the YouTube, I would just love you to just give some hearts up to Craig today and I'm hoping that he answered your queries. So please feel free. We've got another 15 minutes before we go off air. If there's anything else that you want to ask, please do that now. Please.
Natasha just emailed me. I'll look after you, Natasha. Don't worry.
Oh, awesome. Please send up lots of love in the chat room. Loads of hearts is going up to you, Craig. Anything else that you can impart to anyone that's listening? So remember, there's people with aches and pains, anxiety, PTSD, with skin psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, to people who are genuinely anxious, genuinely anxious. What is your advice about CBD oil? What could you impart before we leave today?
I would just recommend you give it a go. Try it out, and try it slowly, and use it as part of a regime. I would also request that you take responsibility for your own well-being. This is a movement. It's a movement against, well, in my opinion, the pharmaceutical industry. And we need to take responsibility for our own well-being, standing in our truth and taking responsibility for ourselves. And by looking into natural remedies, like, for instance, a plant-based medicine, CBD, you're doing yourself a favor.
Thank you so much to everyone again that is still in the chat room. Thank you for the likes and the love. People are saying thank you, V and Craig. Not me, please thank Craig for being very honest and open, and literally imparting knowledge about our anatomy that some of us just wasn't even aware of, what CBD could do for your scalp and your skin, and the things that we should do to because the vessel, I truly believe that the vessel that we're in is only on loan. It's like having a house and paying a mortgage for.
Yeah.
And that with your house, you have to, people have already emailed you. And thank you for being a wonderful human being, she says. It's looking at your house and thinking outside there are cracks. So you'd paint them, wouldn't you? You'd put fillers in that crack. So it's like, that's how you treat your body. You don't feel the crack. You heal the crack from within
100%.
to allow your exterior to shine. And that's one thing that I can impart and take away from all of this. People have emailed. Marcia is saying to you, this is all messages for you, always for the natural. Sonia D. Sherman. Again, Sonia, I'm so sorry to hear that you're in so much pain. As I said, positive healings, energy healings coming from myself, and I'm sure from
likewise, 100%, loads of positive healing vibes coming your way.
Yeah. Please email Craig if you have any other questions bar today, even if you're not ready to buy the product and you're still like me, being a big skeptic. Please email, because the more informed you can be, the more you can help yourself. And Martha please, Gordon also, she's she says love and prayers up. Let me see if there's anybody else. Mummy T says thank you.
There's loads of information on my website as well. If you just visit the website and have a look, there's tons of information there. So yeah, just go and have a quick look.
Yeah. Also for the cancer patients, this works perfectly for the cancer patients. I just wanted everyone to know. Someone said it should be allowed for any kids with cancer. I'm not sure about that. Again, that is something that you would know more, Trinity, and Craig would know. So if anyone who's got someone in their family with cancer and not sure, please email Craig, who is able to go in more depth than to today's show. I just want to thank you to everyone. I'm having the hummus though. I don't know. Oh, that's Natasha telling her mummy T that she's having hummus. Not sure. Lastly, sleep, less pain. My GP is Ace. Very luckily, who helped me. That was Trinity again.
Amazing.
Final word from you, because I can gas all day, because I've really, really enjoyed this. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. Thank you to everyone on Standing in My Truth. Anyone that's gone on to Mixcloud. I can't speak very much for my own page. No one goes on my page, but I put it there anyway. But Standing in My Truth, it's where it's always at. I know you've got the parting word. Any insight and inspiration you want to impart before we say goodnight?
I'm not too sure about inspiration, but I just wanted to say thank you for having me and giving me the platform and giving me the time to express myself and perhaps give a little bit of information about what I believe is a wonderful product and a wonderful plant. It's been vilified for too long. Free the plant and enhance your own well-being and take control of your life.
Absolutely. And I'm about to put the website because people are asking for the website. Also, well, the doctors are experimenting on us, so I see no reason why we shouldn't try the product. And you're absolutely right, Martha, because it is natural. It's all the things that we know as it doesn't matter. Oh, here we go. Website is up. Thank you again,
Justine's on it.
Justine, I love you. Love you, Justine.
Yeah,
So
God bless everyone.
anybody that wants the website, please look on the screen in front of you. It's http, it's QUNUBUCBD.co.uk. Remember, folks, God bless you, Master, too. Thank you. I'm going to put that back up. I'm going to actually leave it there. Thank you to all the messages that have been coming into the chat room. Craig,
it's been great. Thank you so much
for your time. It's been a blessing to have you on. And in a couple of weeks, which I've said this to, I've got Sabrina Bakari, who does mindfulness, and I'm also bringing back Corrine, who does the meditation. And it'd be great if I can have all three of you back the third week of May.
I'd love to come back.
That because we're doing a second part 2 of Living with Autism next week. So the third week in May, I'm saying this to everybody, we'll have Craig back. We'll talk about the benefits of the CBD oil, meditation, mindfulness, all in one show.
That's exactly it, because it's not just CBD oil is a supplement at the end of the day. Meditation, prayer, a good diet, all of these things, they all help, and you need to be doing it all together.
And this is what's going to happen. Final question. Let's see. How do I come work for you in the heat rooms, please? I've also, all right, I'll let you guys answer all those questions in when you email Craig. So don't forget, folks, anyone who's still watching, you have until 10:30 to email Craig. After 10:30, all the prices go back to what's on the website. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone for all your wonderful input today. It couldn't happen without you. To all those on the YouTube, please go ahead, subscribe, click the link, show your appreciation for Craig. Lots of love coming to you, Craig. See you back in 3 weeks, folks. He will be back. It says support CB. Hold on a second. Justin says, here's all the links, folks. I'm leaving it right there. Support QUNUBU CBD. You've got it, the website, you've got the Facebook, and there's also the Instagram. I'm sending out positive vibrations. Good night and God bless you, Craig.
Good night. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Don't forget, guys, 10:30. You have until 10:30 to get the promotion. After 10:30, it's back to the normal price. Amazing. Craig, I'm going to leave you in the green room, and I'm just going to say good night to the audience. Please stay in the green room, and I'll speak to you shortly.
Perfect.
Good night. God bless. Wonderful, 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 wonderful show tonight. I'm sending out lots of hearts to everybody. Positive vibrations to every single person in the chat room, even on the replay. I hope there was something in there for you today. For all of you who are in aches and pains, afflicted, anxiety, panic attack, uncertainty, have faith. Have faith. If you're stressing, just try and understand, what are you stressing about? It's not easy. I am guilty as charged. I am one of them. And that's why this show is called Standing in My Truth. Nobody in life is perfect. Please remember that. None of us is perfect. Whatever the day is, whatever the bad day is, laugh it off. Drink a cup of tea. Drink water. Have a drink if you have to. But laugh it off, because if you've got breath, you can make amends tomorrow. Once you have got breath and life, you can make a difference in your own life, and you can also help others. Whatever information that you have, share it, impart it with love. 3 weeks' time, Craig will be back. Kareen, the body therapist, will be back for meditation, and also mindfulness with Sabrina, the athlete Bakari, will be in the house. Keep watching. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful, blessed Thursday, Friday into the weekend. And get some vitamin D. Mwah. Good night and God bless you.